You're watching once again a YouTube video presentation of the University of Wyoming Center on Aging. I'm Scott Veach. I'm your host, and on this program we'll be discussing topics of interest for caregivers of loved ones with dementia. We hope that you will subscribe to the channel and you'll hit that thumbs up like button. Both of those actions help the channel to grow and allow us to reach more people. And if you'll tap that notification bell, you'll be alerted each time we upload a new program. And now, this is Once Again. My guest today is Carley Applegate. She is with the Caregiver Bootcamp. Boy, there's going to be a lot to unpack about that. And we're going to be talking about the services that are available, the help available to caregivers. Carley, thanks so much for being with us again, because if you go back and look, we have done, I don't know, 45 of these programs, and Carley was actually the third guest that we had. And we taped that all the way back in May of 2022. Wow. So 3.5 years ago from the date that we're taping today. Caregiver Bootcamp. Wow. I love that. And I love the concept. Tell us a little bit about it. How did it get started?
Well, I have been in healthcare for over 25 years now, and I also had been, a caregiver to my family members, and just over the years, just seeing my patients, my clients, um, their families struggling. I decided, along with my team, that there was an easier way of doing it. We could figure it out. And so we looked at national and state data and tried to drill down to see what could be taught in an hour and a half class that the caregivers could go home with. They could start it right away and not feel too overwhelmed. And we drilled it down to 5 subjects, and that is the foundation of the boot camp.
Now, is this for caregivers of someone who has been diagnosed with any condition, or is it specifically for those who are caring for someone with dementia?
No, that's one of the features that makes the boot camp, the caregiver boot camp unique, is we are not diagnosis specific. And the reason being is you're never just treating one comorbidity. The person comes as a whole package. So our boot camp is grounded in the idea that whether you're taking care of somebody who is chronically ill or is acutely ill, you have what you need as a foundation to feel more confident and competent as a caregiver.
I have taken CPR classes. My wife and I took Lamaze classes and all those, but no caregiver boot camp. I mean, so it looks like you're really filling a need. These aren't that common, are they?
Well, and you know what's it's funny that you mentioned Lamaze and CPR because that is the structure we're going for with the boot camp is that you receive the same CPR training in Wyoming as you would in New York. The Lamaze method is very, very similar, and it is built on progressive training. You don't just go for one Lamaze class, you go to 5 or 6 Lamaze classes in preparation of delivering. Most of society is going to be a caregiver at some point in time. So this class is to prepare you and your family so you have that foundation. You have a good, solid foundation. And just like Lamaze and CPR, it's repeatable. So it can be repeatable in multiple communities. It can be held in church basements. It could be held at a hospital. It could be held at a community center. We're even doing it at a coffee shop.
Can people participate online or they need to be there in person?
Well, one of the fundamental parts of the caregiver boot camp is that hands-on training. So while we are going to be rolling out a YouTube series in 2026, Right now, it is hands-on training because it is so important for caregivers first, again, to have that tactile experience and having somebody there say, you've done it right, or you need to tweak it like this. Um, but also, caregivers are so isolated. The fact that they can get in a room and see 20 other caregivers and everybody nod at the same time or roll their eyes at the same time or laugh at the same time is so incredibly important.
What about the fact that caregivers come in all ages?
Mhm.
Does it, because you and I were talking before the program, there are some young adults who have to fill that major role as caregivers too. Can they benefit from the Caregiver Bootcamp?
Yeah, we have had such a wide range of ages. We collect data on all of the boot camps that that we put on. So we have that data. We know their ages, their sex, how long they've been a caregiver. And our youngest caregiver was 17 years old.
Wow.
And she was a full-time caregiver. She would, wake up, take care of dad, go to school, come home at lunch, take care of dad, come home after school, take care of dad, go to work, and then take care of dad. So, and our oldest was in her 90s, and she was taking care of her mom and her daughter.
Wow.
So it is accessible for all kinds of age ranges.
Hmm. Um, so let's talk a little bit about some of the specifics. And this is actually part one of what is going to be a two-part program. Our guest is Carley Applegate, and she is with the Caregiver Bootcamp. Um, are these, is that like a trademark name, or are there other
It is.
boot camps that operate
Nope.
under a different one, or what?
Nope, I was able to get it trademarked, thankfully, knock on wood, nothing changes. But yes, the Caregiver Bootcamp is a trademark. It's an educational program for non-professional caregivers. It's not to become a CNA. You're not going to get any type of certification out of it. It's for families and loved ones who just want to be more confident and competent as a caregiver.
Mhm.
Um, and we call it a boot camp because it's hard. It is 5 weeks of a ton of information. You can only dilute information so much before it has no meaning anymore. So it is fast, it is furious, but by the time you leave that last class on week 5, our caregivers report up to a 300% increase in skills, ability, and confidence.
So the fact that you're based here in Natrona County, can people all over the state participate? How do they get help?
Well, we are working to expand other communities.
That was where I was going.
Yeah, we want to get to everywhere. So here in Natrona County, um, we have a boot camp that's once a quarter, spring, winter, fall, and summer. And but for other communities that are interested in the boot camp, we do have a method in which um, churches, agencies, community centers can actually purchase the boot camp. They get all of the materials. They actually do retreat. They receive the training from me, all of the onboarding, and then they can put it on in their own communities um, for whatever the contract period is.
Do you personally teach each one of the classes?
Yes, right now I do.
Right now. So does that mean you're hoping that maybe expanding and training others to teach it?
Yep. Yeah, that is the goal. Again, similar to CPR or Lamaze class, you have trainers all over the country
Hmm.
that are able to put these on and are either supported by not-for-profits or other funding that allows them to keep on going.
We're talking with Carley Applegate. We're discussing the Caregiver Boot Camp, and this is going to be part one of a two-part program. If someone would like more information, about the Caregiver Bootcamp, we will have Carley's email address in the discussion box below, and you can contact her there. There is a lot to get to in part two. We're going to be talking about what exactly is and what people can expect from a Caregiver Bootcamp experience, and talk a little bit about the proficiency and the efficiency of the success stories that some of her clients have had as well. And we're going to do that in part two, which will be coming up next on Once Again. You've been watching Once Again, a YouTube video presentation of the University of Wyoming Center on Aging. We hope, if you haven't done so already, that you'll subscribe to the channel and hit that thumbs up like button. Both of those actions help the channel to grow and allow us to reach more people. And if you'll tap that notification bell, you'll be alerted each time we upload a new video. Thanks so much for being with us. I'm Scott Veach. We'll see you again next time.